Are you thinking the pump in your water feature is out or that it might be going out? Are you noticing reduced flow rates or strange flow patterns? In this video, I'm going to give you the step-by-step procedures that we use for isolating and understanding pump issues. By the end of this, you guys are going to understand exactly what's going on, and most importantly, if it's an electrical issue or if it's a failing or failed pump. By the way, if you're in the Knoxville area and you'd rather not deal with troubleshooting this thing and you just want to get it handled professionally, give us a call or fill out our contact form on our website. We'll help you quickly determine what's going on and get it resolved the right way. We're always here to help. You know, the worst call I've ever had to go out on looks just like this. I show up, I walk over to the outlet, I push the reset button on the GFI, or I walk in the garage and I flip a breaker switch in the breaker box and everything's working again. The homeowner asked me what the problem was, and feeling like a total smartass, I have to say the ON/OFF switch was in the OFF position. I never enjoy charging someone for a visit that could have been avoided with 30 seconds of effort from them. A little bit of guidance will get you squared away, so don't let this be your story, guys. When most people think something's wrong with their pump, it's one of these scenarios. The flow rate has dropped and the waterfall isn't running as strong as it used to be. The system is turning on and off repeatedly, or things just don't feel right compared to normal and you're not sure why. Of course, there's always the scene where the pump's just not running at all. In order to quickly get you guys to the finish line, I need to determine if the problem is the pump or the power. This video walkthrough is geared towards people who understand the basics of their system and they just need some technical guidance. If there are terms or names of things in this video that you don't understand, I'll include links to frequently asked questions and common terms so that you can dig in a bit deeper if you need more coaching. First thing, guys, I want to ask you to please consider your urgency level here. If you have a biological filter, fish, or aquatic plants that are dependent on the operation of your pump, recognize your time restraints. Oxygen levels begin to drop as soon as the water stops flowing. So be sure to treat this whole process with the necessary urgency. If I were in a do-it-for-me mindset, and I had to choose between calling an electrician or calling a pond professional to fix my problem, I would definitely choose to call a pond professional. This is because if your pond pro decides it's an electrical issue, he's going to have an electrician that he already works with. If you call an electrician and it's a pump issue, he probably won't have a pond professional on speed dial. So if you guys are still with me, let's get dirty. I want you to unplug your pump and everything else on the circuit that the pump plugs into. My friends, if the pump is still plugged in and it has failed, it can be generating heat or it can be bleeding stray voltage into your water. That is going to make your teeth feel funny when you put your hand in the water, and it is very not cool. Unplug it first thing. It is unsafe to troubleshoot a pump that's got power to it. And don't forget, everything else plugged into the circuit with the pump and all of the other outlets connected to. So now we want to determine if there is power available at your outlet. Before we think about testing the pump, we need to confirm whether power is actually reaching the outlet where your pump plugs in. Because if you don't have power, it's not necessarily a pump problem. Now that nothing else is plugged in, we're going to test your outlet. Take something that pulls some juice, like a lamp or a hairdryer, and plug it into the outlet where your pump normally plugs in. If the hairdryer turns on, you have power, and you might have a pump issue. You can skip forward to the part where we start inspecting your pump. If the hairdryer does not turn on, stay with me and let's quickly see if we can restore power to this outlet. Restoring power to your outlet starts with the GFI reset, ground fault interrupt. If your power is set up properly, there will be a reset button on the outlet where your pump plugs in. Push the button, you will hear a clicking sound when it resets. After you reset it, plug your hairdryer back in and check it again. If it turns on, you've restored power. Skip forward to troubleshooting and inspecting your pump. If it doesn't turn on, don't go anywhere. We've still got another shot at fixing this. Your next checkpoint is going to be the breaker panel. Go find your breaker panel and determine the breaker that feeds your pond pump's power source. If you know which one it is, turn it off, turn it back on, reset it. If not, look for a breaker that's tripped or the one that's labeled pump and reset that. Flip it all the way off and all the way back on. It'll be easy to read on/off on your breakers. If the breaker resets, you've restored power back to that circuit. Let's keep going. If it doesn't reset, you have not restored power, you need an electrician or there's something else on that circuit causing it to trip. If any of this is confusing to you guys, you're probably getting in over your head and you should call an expert. If your breaker is reset, let's make one more trip out to the outlet. Push the GFI reset on that outlet again. There might be a green light, maybe not. Test the hair dryer again to see if you've got some juice there. At this point, ask yourself, can I get power at that outlet with nothing plugged into it? Does my blow dryer work when I plug it into the pump spot? If the answer is no, you cannot restore power to that outlet. This is an electrical issue. You definitely need an electrician to fix your power supply. If the answer is yes, you can now run your hair dryer from this outlet. You've proved that the power supply is good and it can be reset. You, my friend, can move on to inspecting your pump. Here's how I do a submersible pump inspection. First of all, I make sure there's no power to the pump. Then I remove the pump and the check valve out of the skimmer box. I inspect the impeller for damage or blockage if it's easy to access it, like in a solids handling pump. Big hole, you can get right in there and take a stick or a screwdriver and move that impeller around. If there's a faceplate covering the intake, I clean the faceplate, then I remove it, then I check the impeller. The impeller should be intact and it should spin pretty freely. On some pumps it's harder to turn, but it shouldn't be seized up and it shouldn't be damaged. Now I inspect the check valve, also known as a backflow, for a broken or damaged flapper valve inside, that rubber flapper that keeps the water from going backwards. This one's big because a check valve failure can block flow. It'll cause overheating in your pumps and eventually it'll cause total pump failure. Once you're good with the pump inspection and the check valve inspection, reconnect the pump properly, like back the way you found it, duh. Anyways, the breaker trips again when you plug the pump back in, your pump is likely toast. At this point, I would do a second check to be sure it's simply not an electrical component that's almost out. So to do a double check, I would use an extension cord to isolate the pump from the original power source. Be sure you got to run the cord from a different circuit. It can't be off the same breaker. Get a different outlet somewhere. Guys, safety call, make sure the cord is heavy duty enough that it's rated for your pump's amperage and that it's rated for outdoor use. A good pump can still overheat an undersized cord and cause a breaker to flip. False reading. In order to understand this double check results, you're going to need to know this. If the pump runs fine on the extension cord for an extended period, like over hours, you've eliminated your pump from the equation. If the pump trips the new circuit breaker using the right extension cord, you've most certainly isolated the fact that the pump is the issue. Your final step now, my friends, is just make a decision. At this point, you already know if it's the pump or if it's the power. Do you need a pond technician or do you need an electrician? I really can't stress this enough, guys. If you have fish, every moment matters. Biological filters are dependent on highly oxygenated water flow. Don't wait on this thing. Get it handled immediately. I really appreciate you guys hanging out to the end of this video, and I hope you got some massive value out of our troubleshooting time together. John G. out.